power of prayer. Welcome to the story of the power of prayer. This is a tale about faith, hope, and the incredible strength we can find through prayer in difficult times. This is a perfect way to English listening practice. Hello, everyone. Today, we will practice listening skills with the power of prayer topic. The story tells about how faith and prayer helped a family overcome a difficult challenge. It shows the strength we can find in belief and hope. Now, let's begin our listening practice. Chapter 1. The quiet village of Oakhaven. Long ago, nestled between rolling green hills and a sparkling blue river, lay the quiet village of Oakhaven. The houses in Oakhaven were small and cozy, with thatched roofs and colorful gardens. The people here were kind and gentle, and their lives moved with the slow, steady rhythm of nature. Everything felt peaceful in Oakhaven. The air was clean, the sun shone brightly, and the birds sang happy songs all day long. In the heart of Oakhaven, there lived a young girl named Alara. Alara was a curious and cheerful child with bright, sparkling eyes and long, braided brown hair. She loved to explore the woods around her village, collecting wildflowers and listening to the sounds of the forest. Her best friend was her grandmother, Nana Willow. Nana Willow was an old woman with a warm smile and a kind heart. She lived in a small cottage surrounded by a beautiful garden. Nana Willow had a special connection with nature. She knew the names of all the plants and animals, and she could listen to the wind and understand its secrets. The most cherished thing in her garden was a very old willow tree, its long branches drooping down like a weeping curtain. Nana Willow said this tree was very wise, and it had seen many years pass by. The willow tree, she would often tell Alara, is a good listener. If you sit quietly beside it, you can learn so much. Alara loved spending time with her Nana. Nana Willow taught her about the world, not just from books but from listening to the quiet voices of nature. Nana taught Alara to listen to the soft rustling of leaves, the gentle flow of the river, and the whispers of the wind. The world is full of beautiful things if you learn to be quiet and listen, Nana would say. Sometimes, the most important answers come when we are still and quiet. One afternoon, while they were sitting under the willow tree, Nana Willow told Alara about something called prayer. She explained, prayer isn't just about talking out loud. It's about having a quiet conversation with your heart. It's about listening too, Alara. When you listen with your heart, you can hear the whispers of hope and love. Alara was curious. She didn't really understand how a silent conversation could help, but she trusted Nana Willow. She thought that if her grandmother believed it, it must be something special. Chapter 2. The Wishing Well Secret. The days in Oakhaven were usually filled with sunshine and laughter. But one day, a worrying thing happened. The village well, the very heart of Oakhaven, began to dry up. The well used to be always filled with cool, clear water. Now, the water was low and murky, like a cloudy day. People in Oakhaven started to become worried. They needed the water from the well to drink, to cook, and to water their gardens. Without water, their lives would be very difficult. Some villagers started to complain. "Why is this happening?" they asked each other. "What did we do to make the well dry up?" The farmer, Mr. Thomas, looked very sad. He couldn't water his crops, and his vegetables were starting to wilt. Mrs. Daisy, the baker, couldn't make her delicious bread because she didn't have enough water. Even the children were quiet, knowing that something was wrong. Their laughter was replaced by worried whispers. Alara felt very confused. She never saw the village like this. The flowers seemed less bright, and the birds didn't sing as happily. "Nana," she asked with a worried voice, "why is the well sad?" Why is nature unhappy? Nana Willow sat down beside her, holding Alara's hand. Sometimes, Alara, she said in her calm voice, the world needs our help, not just with our hands, but with our hearts. When things are not right, it's time to listen, to think, and to pray. It's the time to use the quiet conversation we talked about. Alara didn't fully understand, but she trusted her Nana. She knew that if Nana said they could help by praying, then they could. She just wanted the village and well to be happy again. Chapter 3. A Lesson in Prayer. Alara and Nana Willow sat under the old willow tree. The leaves rustled gently in the soft breeze. Alara, Nana Willow began, prayer is like talking to a friend. You can share your feelings, your hopes, and your fears, but it's also about listening. It's about listening to the quiet voice inside your heart. Nana Willow explained that there are different ways to pray. Sometimes we pray for help, and sometimes we pray to say thank you. Sometimes we pray to feel love and peace, she said softly. Prayer is not always about asking for things. It's a time to feel grateful for what we have and to feel hope for what could be. She continued, when you pray, you can also listen for guidance. Guidance is like a small voice, a feeling, or an idea that helps you find the right way. She told Alara to close her eyes and imagine the well filling with water. She told her to think about all the good things the water brought to Oakhaven. Alara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She thought of the happy faces in the village, the laughter of the children, the colorful flowers, and the beautiful gardens. She thought about her home, and she thought of the clean, refreshing water. She felt a warm feeling inside her, a mixture of love and hope. You see, Alara, Nana Willow said, opening her eyes, prayer is a conversation between your heart and something bigger than us. It can be different for everyone. The important thing is that it comes from a place of love and hope. She said, now you try. Kneel beside the tree, close your eyes, listen to your heart, and try to give prayer to the well. Alara kneeled beside the tree, closed her eyes, and tried to focus. At first, her mind was full of different thoughts, but then she remembered Nana's words. She knew she had to be quiet and listen. Chapter 4. Alara's First Prayer. Alara knelt down near the big willow tree, the soft grass tickling her legs. She closed her eyes, just as Nana Willow had taught her. She took a deep breath and tried to calm all her busy thoughts. She concentrated on her love for Oakhaven and the wish in her heart for the well to be full of water again. Dear heart, she began. In her mind, I am grateful for this beautiful village. Thank you for all the good things we have. She remembered her walks in the forest, the bright flowers in the garden, and the laughter of her friends. Then, she thought about the well. She pictured it filled with clean, sparkling water again. She imagined the happy faces of the villagers, the farmer watering his crops, and the baker making her delicious bread. Alara felt a warm surge of hope. She asked, please, dear heart, help the well to come back. Please let the water flow again so everyone can be happy. And if there is anything I can do, please let me know. She didn't speak any words out loud. She just stayed very quiet and listened to the warm feeling in her heart. It wasn't a loud voice, but a gentle sense of peace and hope. She felt like the world was listening too. Then, Alara imagined that the willow tree was listening too. It felt like the whole world was listening to her silent prayer. When she opened her eyes, she felt a little different. She felt hopeful and happy, even though she still didn't see the water in the well. She believed, in her heart, that things would get better. She knew her prayer was heard. Chapter 5. Tiny Changes. The next morning, Alara woke up with a feeling of excitement and anticipation. She immediately ran to the well to see if her prayer had been answered. The well was not full, but something was different. She noticed a few drops of water at the bottom, shimmering like tiny jewels in the sunlight. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. Then, as she walked back to her house, she noticed other small changes. The birds seemed to be singing a little brighter, and the air smelled a little sweeter. A few flowers seemed to have opened their buds a tiny bit more. It was small, but the village felt a little more alive. Alara ran to tell Nana Willow, who was working tending her garden. "Nana," she exclaimed, "the well has a few drops of water, and the birds are singing so sweetly. I think it's working." She explained her silent message to the well. She said, "Maybe the tree helped me talk to the well." Nana Willow smiled knowingly. "Yes, Alara, that's wonderful. Prayer can work in ways we don't always see right away. It's important to be patient. Small steps can often lead to big changes." She continued, "Sometimes the answer comes slowly, like a seed that grows into a big tree. But you know in your heart that the prayer have been heard. The important thing is to keep the hope inside your heart." Later that day, Alara told the other villagers about the few drops of water and the small changes she noticed. At first, some were still sad and worried, but gradually, they began to feel a little ray of hope. "That's good," said Mr. Thomas. "That is something. It's good to have hope. Maybe, just maybe, things will get better." The idea of prayer had been introduced to all of the villagers, and this made them feel they could do something to help the village and the well. Chapter 6: The Power of Community. As the days went by, the small changes in Oakhaven continued. The water in the well had risen a little higher, and the flowers were a bit more colorful. The villagers were starting to talk about praying too. One evening, Nana Willow suggested that everyone in the village should pray together. "The power of prayer is great," she said, smiling. "But when we pray together, with all our hearts, that power can become even stronger. It is good to share our hopes." The villagers gathered near the old willow tree and the well. They held hands, forming a circle around the well. They were people of all ages, old, young, farmer, baker, and everyone in between. Alara stood holding Nana Willow's hand, feeling the warmth and love of her village surrounding her. She felt like she was part of something special. Nana Willow began to speak. "Let us close our eyes and connect with the love in our hearts. Let us thank the world for all the beautiful things we have. And let us ask for the well to be full again, with hope and gratitude." Everyone closed their eyes and began to pray softly. Some repeated Nana Willow's words, some spoke their own, and some prayed silently from their hearts. Alara focused on the feeling of love and hope that connected them all. She felt like she was part of a beautiful song, with the voices of her community blending together into one. It was like they were all one heart with their one powerful purpose. The sound of their prayers, mixed with the gentle sounds of nature, created a peaceful and powerful feeling in the air. It felt like the whole village was wrapped in a blanket of light. The willow tree's leaves rustled as if it was part of the prayer. Chapter 7: The Wellspring Flows. When the villagers opened their eyes, they were amazed by what they saw. The well was not just a little bit full. It was overflowing with clean, clear water. The water sparkled like a million tiny diamonds, reflecting the sunlight. It was as if the earth itself had heard their prayers and decided to give them the gift of water and to celebrate with them. The villagers cheered and clapped with joy. They had never seen the well so full and so beautiful. They felt a wonderful sense of relief and gratitude. The birds sang louder, as if they were cheering too. The flowers seemed to burst into full bloom, and the whole village shimmered with happiness. The children ran to the edge of the well, laughing and splashing in the water. Mr. Thomas happily watered his crops, and Mrs. Daisy started baking her delicious bread. The laughter that returned to Oakhaven was heard everywhere. It was a beautiful sound. The village was alive and happy once again. Ilara ran to Nana Willow, who embraced her warmly. "You see, Ilara," she said softly, "it is the power of love, the power of faith, and the power of praying all together that brought this miracle. You must believe in the power of your heart." Ilara looked at the overflowing well with happy tears in her eyes. She thought about her silent prayer, the small changes, and the community's prayer. She knew that they had not only saved the well, but they had also saved their village. She had a deep understanding of the power of listening, the power of hope, and the power of prayer.